My mum talks about how her friends have grandchildren, and she's even showed photos of these random kids to me.
Just stop it, mothers. Stop it.
A bit of housekeeping before we begin Where You Left Them, the Dad Hugs podcast. Harry and Emma are not therapists, and your needs will be specific to your circumstances. The opinions expressed in this podcast should not be construed as formal advice. Some stories have been amended and simplified for narrative flow, and names have been changed to protect the anonymity of our contributors.
Hello, this is Where You Left Them, podcast from Dad Hugs for Your Soul, where we share real people's real relationship stories to see if we can help and see what we can learn from them for our own lives. I'm Harry. If you know that, you might have seen me on socials. I help people with relationship stuff, and I didn't want to do this on my own. So, again, I have my lovely friend Emma with me.
Hello, Harry is helping me with relationship stuff and has been for a long time.
And tormenting you with...
tormenting me with things to help me be less anxiously attached, because poster girl for anxious.
We're changing your life.
Yes, you are. Actually, yes, you are.
We are. And we want you to get involved too. So we've created a whole podcast area on our website, and we want to hear your stories. In this Thursday's episode, we tell the story. And on Tuesday, it's your turn. You can join us on the Tuesday pod, which is a slightly chaotic. Is that fair?
It's chaotic, but I like it. It's fun because we get to read out your lovely comments and
true.
Discuss them, and we get to drink tea and try and make our screens not flicker because of the neon signs, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, we're very expert at this.
Very, very professional.
Very professional. And so, without further ado, we're going to get into this week's story. And this week's story, Emma, is from Eliza.
Okay.
Dear Harry, I'm 35 years old, and I just feel like life has somehow passed me by. Everywhere I look, people around me seem to be moving on with all the big things in life: engagements, weddings, children, mortgages. And I'm still here, stood on my own. I try to be happy for them, and I am mostly. But it's become a bit of a running joke that I'm still single. Insta and TikTok are full of people telling me how to feel okay with being on my own. Sorry. But I honestly think that these women have got a boyfriend somewhere secretly in the background.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. I work full time, and I've always been independent. I've done all right for myself, but it feels like the things I thought would have fallen into place by now just haven't. Most weekends, my friends are busy with family plans, birthdays for the kids, or catching up with their husbands. And I find myself sat at home.
Yeah, that's familiar.
Yeah?
Yeah, found that later in life, much later in life.
Yeah.
You know, you're single, everyone else is entertained. It's great during the week.
It's hard, isn't it, that feeling of being left behind at the weekend?
Friday night is a bit of a killer, yeah.
But, you know, there's game shows, right?
Of course.
I tell myself I should enjoy the peace and quiet, but truthfully, I feel lonely most of the time. Even going on social media can feel like a kick in the teeth. More engagement photos, baby announcements, family homes. It's endless. I'm seriously fed up and insulted now of being asked to be maid of honor.
Oh, yeah.
It's happened twice this year alone. That is hard. That always the bridesmaid thing, isn't it?
All of this is always the bridesmaid, isn't it? All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried dating apps because people kept saying, that's how everyone meets now. But seriously, I find them awful.
Yeah.
No argument here.
No argument here. No.
I feel embarrassed swiping on strangers, and half the time the conversations don't even go anywhere. The few times I've met up with someone, it's felt forced, like a job interview. I've had those ones. Have you?
Yeah.
So, tell me about...
Just fill in this questionnaire.
Yeah. And I end up wishing I'd never bothered. I can't even remember how I used to meet guys in the past. In the pub, probably. Back then, I'd often end up sleeping with them on the first night. It never led to anything serious, but at least it felt natural in the moment. Now I feel judged no matter what I do. If I take things too fast, I worry that they'll think I'm not serious. If I take things too slow, I worry that they'll get bored and move on. I keep asking myself if I've somehow messed things up. Did I waste my 20s going out and having fun?
No.
When I should have been settling down? No, nothing
No.
wrong with that.
I'm not interrupting because I want to take this as a whole thing.
Yeah, that's
Mhm,
fine.
mhm.
I'm not used to it, but
I
it's
know.
fine. Sometimes I wonder if I'm just unlucky or if there's something wrong with me that makes me unpickable. Common
Oh,
theme, this.
yes.
I also wonder if it makes me a bit too over the top when I meet someone like I'm really eager to please them.
Okay.
My family are hard work too. Every big occasion we get together, someone asks if I'm seeing anyone special yet. My mum talks about how her friends have grandchildren, and she's even showed photos of these random kids to me.
Stop it, mothers. Stop
Yes.
it.
Is that just a mother's thing? It seems to
Yeah,
be, doesn't
it
it?
is. It's a mother's thing. It is.
How does it make you feel if it happens? I know that you're loved up now, but
Well, it's that whole. You're kind of everyone's in this lovely happy yay club. You know when you kind of on holiday and you walk down the street and you can hear the happy sounds of a club and everyone's having a lovely time.
yes.
And you're walking down the sort of dingy street. It's that, but
Really?
in life, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I so sympathise with Eliza here.
That's another thing, because I do want children, and I know that I don't have forever to meet someone and be in a place where we could have a baby.
Mm.
I thought about freezing my eggs, but I can't really afford that, and it feels like giving up.
This is huge. That in itself is a huge subject. And we are put under, I'm so sorry, I'm going to go for it now. We are put under so much pressure as women. We have to be everything.
Yes.
Right? We have to be career driven. We have to be independent, but not too independent. We have to be loving, but not over the top. You know, we
Yes.
have to be strong, but not scary. We have to be in charge, but not bossy.
Yes.
We have to be
When are you
mothers.
going to do these things, Emma? I'm looking forward to these things.
I'm
all
none
these
of that.
things.
I'm not any of those things.
Yeah.
I'm too old fashioned. We have to be family orientated, but not give up the job.
Yeah.
But also be a perfectly present mother.
It's
right?
like this huge thing that you have to pick some of those things, and if you don't, then
There's something wrong with you.
yeah.
And the pressure of, you know, you will read it everywhere. I don't know if it sort of hits home as much with, well, it probably doesn't with a man, but the being a mother thing. The pressure
Yeah.
of the timescale there. And it's so unrealistic. She's absolutely right. You know,
Yeah.
she's 35.
Yeah.
I was a geriatric mother at 38, but she's 35, and she'll have been told from every glossy magazine, every woman's news thing, whatever, that you need to start your families earlier.
Yeah.
Well, how do you do that if you're on your own and you don't want to just do it on your own? You would like to have a more traditional setup.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And that kind of financial barrier to it, combined with this feeling like you've given up.
Yeah,
That's very sad, isn't it? Like
it's
you've turned away from
really
that.
sad. It is a huge life decision, and in a lot of ways, she can't make that decision on her own, can she? She's just it's forced upon her,
Yeah,
really.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I know I have good things. I've got my job, I can pay my bills, and I've still got a few close friends. But it feels like there's a big missing piece, and no matter how much I try to fill it with hobbies, work, or self-care, it doesn't go away. I don't want to be the one always turning up solo to weddings.
Yeah, that sucks.
Or the fun auntie, while
Oh,
everyone else gets to have families of their own. What scares me the most is the thought that this is all I get, that I'll always be on my own. I don't know how to shake off this feeling of being left behind. Part of me wants to give up on dating altogether. But then I imagine myself 10 years from now, and the thought of still being alone terrifies me. So, I'm writing to you because I don't know how to move forward. How do I stop feeling like the one waiting for something that might never come? Thanks, Eliza.
I've such sympathy for Eliza, having gone round those loops in one way or another many times. And she's so right. What we have now, which, you know, 200 years ago when I was sort of that kind of age, wasn't so prolific, was social media.
Right.
We've got this awful kind of billboard of look at this perfect life that you're not leading.
Yeah, this reinforcement.
And she sounds completely grounded, this woman, I think. You're going to, you know, I would like your perspective. And it's almost like these things are creeping in. They're creeping in and sort of taking over more of herself.
Yeah, and you asked for my perspective, and that's the word, isn't it, here? It's perspective, because I hear 35, I'm 53. That's knocking on a bit. And I hear 35, and I don't hear giving up. I don't hear too old.
No, me neither.
Maybe that is just, me looking back with rose-tinted glasses. But at the same time, there are plenty of people still finding partners, co-parenting, getting married at these ages,
Of course there are.
And the perspective that you don't have during that period while you're in it is that you can't see that actually things look like they're flying past you really fast. All these opportunities are going and vanishing from your life, but actually things are moving pretty slowly still. And when you look back on the period, or certainly when I do, when I look back on my sort of late 30s to mid 40s, that doesn't feel like it flashed past to me at all.
No,
There's a lot of slow things that can happen for you in that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the constant reinforcement from social media, from the media generally, from friends and family, mothers, like you say,
awful.
Mothers and fathers as well, reinforcing, when are we getting grandkids?
So on that in particular, I want to say, having gone through IVF,
Yes,
for many years, that is a question no one ever wants to hear. That, right? No one ever wants to hear, when are you going to have children? Even because either it's a conscious choice or it's not a conscious choice. But in either event, that's a private thing and that's nobody's business.
and also everybody knows that, don't they? The
Yeah.
question asker, they know that when they ask the question. They know that you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Because there's no answer. There's no, next year.
Yeah. Just don't ask. It's
Yeah.
a ridiculous, daft, usually painful question. Don't ask it. Agree. And I want to go back a bit with and it sounds so glib saying you are 35.
Yes.
But you are 35,
Yeah.
and there is so much life happening. And like you said, it's slow. And it's so sad. And it's that adage again, you don't get, wisdom is wasted on whatever it is. No, youth is wasted on the young. I don't know. I can't remember
Youth is wasted on the young.
That's it. Because you feel like that is it. This is your life now.
Yeah.
But your life stretches way, way, way beyond where you are now. And all of these cycles change. And I don't want to say this in a unkind way, but those smug marrieds, to quote Bridget Jones, those smug marrieds will go through divorces and betrayals and awful, awful things.
Yep.
And all of that is coming down the line. Right?
Yeah.
All of that. And when she said, have I wasted my 20s? Absolutely not. Because when you are further down that line and you look back, you've lived your life. You've filled your life, and there's no gaps. There's no resentment or regrets. So
yes.
no.
And I love that perspective, because another thing is that just because you've had kids, just because you've got married, they don't need to be the right decision every time.
No.
There's quite a few people who regret those decisions for the rest of their lives, who are sort of, maybe I did that too early. Actually, I don't enjoy being a parent. Oh, it's a lot, because it's a lot,
It's
right?
a hell of
It's
a lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
So the idea that it's some sort of panacea, that it's going to just cure everything, that everything's going to be fine once you've done those two big actions.
So do you get the impression from Eliza, and I think I did as it kind of towards the end of the letter, was there this feeling that she should, I hate that word, that she should be doing those things, or that she wanted to do those things? Because I feel that it morphed for me from should to wanted, and those are different things.
I think, what we deny enough times, we desire. It becomes a desire, because we say, well, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. And it turns around in your mind. And eventually you kind of process it to the point, well, everyone else is doing it. Everyone's done it for time immemorial.
It must be the thing.
Yep. So maybe this is the thing that I should be doing. But actually, advice or perspective is probably a better word for Eliza, would be, have you tried doing nothing?
Yeah.
Like, have you tried stopping? Because the things that you imagine you're kind of missing, or that are whizzing past you, firstly, they aren't. But you can't know that until you stop to look, right? And a lot of people, and this goes back to the original thing that I think I first said, the first words I ever said about this podcast when we put together the first trailer for it. Most people live their entire lives without meeting themselves.
Yeah.
Because they never look up. They grow up, they date, they get engaged, they get married, they get a mortgage, they get jobs, they get kids. They retire, they die, and at no point do they stop, sit still, have some real introspection and learn about themselves. And if you don't do that, you can't begin to care about yourself. You can't begin to love yourself. You can't begin to grow. You can't understand who you are, let alone meet someone who's going to support who you are. So there's an awful lot to be said, actually, for moving more slowly.
Yeah.
And having your head a little bit higher up and saying, yeah, I'm single, but I'm aware of who I am. So, no, I think it's a really powerful thing. And a lot of my friends, actually, a few of my friends, I should say, my female friends, have remained single and have that constant, oh, well, you wouldn't know, you're not married. Oh, you wouldn't know, you don't have kids.
Yeah.
And it's not some, this isn't some mystical process, having children and being married. It's fairly straightforward.
It is, right? And you lose an awful lot of yourself in both of those things.
Yeah.
Even if you're in a perfectly healthy situation, you know, you lose so much of yourself into those things. And I think so I'm likening this scenario to myself when I was desperate to have a baby, right? And it took 7 years.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, if someone could just say to me, just chill, because at 10 years down the line, you're there with a child. They couldn't say that. And that's the wrong thing. What I should have been hoping for was someone to say, in 10 years down the line, you're going to be fine.
Yes.
Now, whether in 10 years down the line that was with a child or without a child, I would still have been fine. And I think the regret I have, I'm 53 and I'm only now meeting myself.
Yeah.
If I had one thing that I would say to Eliza, it would be, know yourself. You know, use this time to know yourself, because then everything going forward is so much more secure, because it's built on this solid foundation of this is who I am and what I need and what I like and what I will accept and what I won't.
Yeah.
And that just sees off so much trouble right at the beginning, doesn't it?
I think a really beautiful kind of perspective for this is that we all are going to meet each other. We're going to meet ourselves rather later in life.
Yes.
Maybe we'll be on our deathbed. Maybe we'll be 80 years old and we'll really finally understand who we are and what we've gone through. We'll all get there eventually. But if you have an opportunity to do that early, do it early.
Yeah, do.
Because you'll learn a lot more from doing the work on yourself than you will from having kids, than you will from getting married.
Definitely.
You'll learn a lot more about yourself, and you'll be able to love someone else much better, including yourself. So, yeah, I think that's the key, is to get to that early.
So one of the things that I did pick up on, she was talking about when she does go on dates, she feels like she's too eager to please.
Yeah.
And
the kind of golden retriever thing, right?
Pick me kind of golden retriever thing. And I suspect she's over exaggerating that in her head, because I think it probably is distasteful to her, because I feel like she's like, oh God, I don't want to be like that. And I feel like I'm being like that. Do you think there is a danger of kind of getting more like that as you...
I think the longer you're out of it, the longer you're out of that situation, the less kind of familiar it becomes to you. But the opposite end of that for me is much more destructive and much more worrying and uncomfortable when you see it. And I've seen it, where you go on a date and the other person is clearly a kind of serial dater who has, you know, like was described earlier on in the story, you know, a list of interview questions.
Yeah.
That sort of situation. And that's so unappealing. And it's such a danger sign as well, because it means that you're so detached from the actual person that you're kind of in this process. And this happens in loads of areas of life. It happens in intimacy a lot as well in modern life, because people just believe that they kind of, the way to do this is I'll engage in this process. It has a start, middle and an end. I'll go through it. And they do that with dating. But yeah, turning up too eager, I think that's quite nice, to be honest.
So do I.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a problem with that.
I always find vulnerable actions appealing. I think it's lovely because it's always honest, right? And turning up eager is that.
She said also, you know, sometimes I've slept with them. So what?
Yeah.
So what? If that's
go
what you
for
wanted
that,
to
that's
do,
fine,
go for it. And that moves me
Be
into,
safe.
yeah, of course, be safe, of course.
Yeah,
and in all ways, you know, not just the intimate stuff, but make sure someone knows where you are, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that also brings me into then I don't know if she linked it, but she's judged, whatever she does. Yes, it was then. She's judged. Of course she's going to be judged.
Yeah, I think she feels very judged.
Yeah.
And I think she is judged. She's clearly judged by her family and her peers and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And we all are. But actually what happens is you then get a heightened sense of that, which
Mm.
becomes like this paranoia of, oh, I'm the single person on the end.
Mm.
I really used to enjoy that. I was always the single person in groups of couples. I was the godfather to all my friends and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. But I really enjoyed that because, I played the role, and like that is how I was very, very happy. And I've always been quite a sort of solid person in that way. But also, you're very aware that you are the only single person there and everybody else is. And what I see might be a little bit different to what a lot of people see, in that when I see people who are in relationships early or in relationships for lifetimes, I see all of the positives, and I love that. I think it's wonderful, and romance is lovely. But of course, I see the insecurity, and I see the reassuring touches, and don't worry, I'm here. You're not on your own. You're okay with someone else. And that is fine and healthy and wonderful. But it's also something that if you can live without it, if you can build your emotional home in yourself, that's a very healthy place to be, because you can soothe and reassure yourself through life. You don't need someone else to support you emotionally. It should always be like this lovely bonus, right? Someone else should always add to your life.
Yeah, not just pop you up.
There's nothing wrong with it, but yeah.
You don't have to go. This is another thing. I was saying this to my recently divorced friend, or oh, I'm dreading. I said, don't go. If you don't want to go, don't go. And you can say no, and that is fine. If that's what you want to do what you want to do.
Boundaries are so important for this stuff. And if any of your friends are saying, oh, you're still single, have a chat with them.
Yeah.
Say, do you know what? That hurts me. I don't like that. Don't chat about that with me.
Perfect.
Set a nice firm boundary with that stuff, and set it with your parents as well. If your parents are constantly asking you, when are we going to get grandkids? That sort of stuff. You can have that conversation. They probably won't listen, but you can have that conversation with them, right? It's
part of me wonders whether they say that because she's so secure in herself.
Quite possibly.
Because if you were with somebody that you loved and they were so hurt about all this kind of stuff, were you really going to say, when are you going to get that thing that I know you really want but can't have?
Good point. Yeah, maybe it's a little push to see if she wobbles.
Yeah. I don't think she's wobbling. I think she's just...
No, she sounds pretty solid to me.
Yeah, me too.
I think do you want to hear my cheesy pun?
Yeah, go on.
So who's the most famous Eliza you've ever heard of?
Eliza Doolittle.
Exactly. And what should Eliza do?
Little.
Not very much, right? So
great.
I think it would be brilliant for Eliza to take the approach that, the best thing for me to do is as little as possible in this. It's because security isn't, it's not building something and then it appearing. I made a post about this, I think yesterday or the other day. Walk the path and the path appears.
Oh, yes. I love that. It does.
Security isn't built in advance.
Reveals itself, doesn't it? Yes, very much. Yeah.
So clarity comes from action, not the other way around. So you do the thing, you hope that it'll go okay, and it will go okay.
Yeah.
The big answer here really is that nothing's going to end up bad here.
No,
it's coming. This happiness is coming.
It again goes back to my comment. It's coming, but you don't know what. It might be a totally different form to what you're imagining it to be.
And it might be
different.
So much more wonderful than you picture it now.
Yeah. So Eliza, I think to finish off then, I think that I feel like she's just had something that's wobbled her.
Yeah, it feels like that.
She's sort of saying, how does she move forward, and how does she... I would like to understand how she sort of, I think, regains that mindset of I'm good, I'm solid, and I've got myself covered, I'm good.
Yeah, I think one thing that you could do, and this is the same for people who've just come out of relationships as well, is to sit in your own space in every sense and do a little audit. So quite often, people come out of relationships and the advice is, oh yeah, focus on yourself. That's pretty hard when you're in a lot of pain. But what you can do is you can start to just gently audit areas of your life. And you can say, okay, so these people are kind of undermining my security by asking me, when am I going to have kids? Why am I the single one? All that stuff. You can say, okay, so does this bother me? And you can ask yourself really honest questions and expect honesty from yourself. And it sounds so basic, but we very rarely talk to ourselves in very straight terms. We give ourselves very kind of sugared or very harsh conversations. So we'll stand in front of a mirror and say, you look fat and terrible.
Yeah, good state of that, yeah.
Yeah, or we'll convince ourselves that we're wonderful at everything and nothing much happens in between. And the in-between bit is where you find the honesty, and that's where you can do the healing. So one very practical thing that Eliza could begin with is a little audit, this mini audit of saying, okay, so why does this hurt me so much? What is the need underneath that's not being met? And I bet it's not kids, and I bet it's not marriage. I bet there's something that would make her feel more secure, more comfortable in herself. And that can be anything from doing the stuff she actually wants to do. Maybe it's going traveling. Maybe it's something much more mundane. But yeah, it's usually the small things in that middle, in that gap, that give you the security that you actually need to feel more comfortable. And, you know, that's the way appearing as you walk through it, isn't it? It's not making a plan and then hoping that you hit the plan.
There's no playbook, is there?
Please, Eliza, talk honestly to your married friends. Talk to your friends with kids.
Yes.
Just check that it's perfect. Just check, because it's not always. It's a hard thing. Life is difficult for everyone in every circumstance. And there's no circumstance that's the right choice. But you look in pretty solid shape.
Same.
To me.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so again, everything in life is light and shade. And again, not such a dark story, but a difficult story to hear. And we're going to add a little bit of light now. So, question of the week, Emma.
Okay, I'm ready.
This week is, what's a clear sign to you that someone isn't over their ex?
Oh, that's a good question, isn't it? So I personally feel that the sign that you are over your ex is complete indifference.
Right, yes. That's the aim, right?
That's the aim. So you've no interest. No one cares. That lovely. No one cares. So you don't care where they are, who they're with, or any of that stuff. So I guess flipping that, the sign that you're not over them is that you're sort of like, you're still kind of like, even in anger, talking about them in anger, or there's still stirring up emotion, even if it is sort of seemingly negative emotion. I still think that's a...
Yeah, that's a huge one for me.
Yeah.
So my answer's the same this week.
Is it? Yeah.
I'd say it's if someone has a negative nickname for an ex, terrible sign. If someone talks about that ex, like you say, extremely kind of aggressively, beyond angry, you know, like, oh, that person is a terrible person, you know, and has terrible things to say about them. But the nickname thing for me, if they have a terrible nickname for an ex, certainly from a difficult relationship, that can be really jarring for me, because that's kind of, okay, a little bit of work to do, a little bit of processing still to do that.
That's interesting, yeah. So we've given our opinions on that, so we'd like to hear your opinions on that. How do you think you can tell if someone's not over their ex? You can let us know on our social channels. You can go to the website, dadhugsforyoursoul.com/podcast, and leave a comment there. Is there any... Oh, YouTube, I guess, also.
Yeah,
YouTube.
You can leave comments on all the socials, on YouTube
that is
and
social,
everything else.
isn't it? Sorry, yeah.
No, that's all right.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So get involved. We want to hear from you as well, because we can talk about it on Tuesday, and we like that.
We like talking and cups of tea, apparently.
Yes, we do like that.
Yes, perfect. So yes, we like talking, but we also like doing. So what are we doing this week? Activity of the week, Emma.
Oh, it's guinea pig time, isn't it?
It's guinea pig time. Are you ready?
Can we have guinea pigs at some point? 'Cause I love them.
Yeah, they are very cute.
Aren't they?
Maybe they could be a therapy.
Oh, can I have a therapy guinea pig? Oh, I'd love that. Yes.
Not this week.
Okay.
So this week, activity of the week is journaling.
Oh, okay, lovely.
But we're going to make it a little bit more accessible. Journaling, I think, is a real hurdle for some people, because how often do you sit down and write things?
Oh,
right?
I know, yeah.
So there are many modern ways to do journaling. Do you like that?
No.
So there's lots of ways you can do journaling that don't involve sitting with a quill pen and a book in front of you.
I want to do that as well.
You can do that too.
Right.
And I think you should do that too.
Yes.
But I also want you to consider the journaling method where you walk along on your normal day-to-day stuff, speak into your phone and record it into, say, your notes app or something like that. And then later on, you can have a little look through it and see what gobbledygook you've got in there.
I want to just ask on this because I know. I mean, I've commented. You yomp about and spout wisdom, don't you?
do.
That's what you do. And
Some people call it wisdom.
well, whatever. When you're doing it,
Mhm.
are you not a bit self-conscious? Because is there people going, "Oh my God," with like with their little bags of whatever, while you're in the middle of Lidl? Are they looking at you like you're a bit weird?
Let me answer that with a question.
Go on.
Have you ever seen me be self-conscious?
No.
There's your answer.
No, but the thing is, right, normal, and again, quote unquote, normal people like myself.
Yeah.
If I'm journaling into my phone.
What you need to understand is, right, and this is really important for anxious people, nobody cares.
How do you know I'm anxious?
It's a mystery.
I know.
But nobody cares. Nobody looks up.
Okay.
Nobody cares what you're doing. Nobody cares what you're saying, what you're wearing. Nobody cares. And you can test this. You know, don't put on the smart clothes. Don't worry about tidying yourself up. Don't keep your voice down. Live normally. Live as yourself.
So I think we should really force me out of my comfort zone and say,
let's have you talking into your phone in public
I was
places.
going to say outside because I was going to just do it in the living room.
So you're only allowed to journal in libraries? No, I'm joking.
I was going to say there's a library at the top of my road.
But yeah, so journaling is your task. Your activity of the week.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
And we'll see how Emma gets on in the update episode on Tuesday when we're chatting and drinking tea. And you can put a little video together for us as well.
Okay. Yep.
Fabulous. So for you at home, tool of the week, it's a nice simple one. All you have to do is sit down. I want you to go outside, find a nice bench. Somewhere busy is absolutely fine. It doesn't need to be beautiful, serene, peaceful nature. Just go and sit somewhere that's outside with the sky above you. Keep your phone in your pocket. Don't look at it and just sit there. Give yourself 5-10 minutes and just have a little reset outside. Nice and simple. Let us know what difference that makes to you. If that calms you, if it makes you more anxious because you're not looking at your phone, and see if it regulates your nerves a bit. And as ever, if you have a little idea for a tool of the week that you use already that's regulating your nervous system or calms you down when you're spiraling or struggling emotionally, do send it in to podcast@dadhugsforyoursoul.com, or you can submit it on the website at dadhugsforyoursoul.com/podcast, or you can comment on the socials and leave it there too.
And I'd like to say before we go, don't forget you can submit your own stories because these people have been incredibly brave. Thank you, Eliza.
Yes.
And you can submit your stories at the podcast section of the website, as you just said, dadhugsforyoursoul.com/podcasts. And we will change your names and we will run it past you before we air it. So you've still got all the control. So if you want to, do get involved. Also, if you get your story read out, you get
a t-shirt of your choice. You can choose a colour. We've got a spectrum of colours of Dad Hug t-shirts. You might be able to see one.
I'm wearing one.
So yes, please do submit the stories. And it's really important as well to mention, we treat all the stories with the utmost respect. We realise that you're being vulnerable and submitting these things. And they are really moving, actually. Well, as you can see from Emma's and my reactions, they really mean a lot to us. So thank you so much for doing that so far. But for now, thank you so much for joining us once again. It's been really interesting. It's been healing for some of us. And it's been great. And thank you so much, Eliza, for sending your story in.
Sorry.
No, go on, please.
If you liked the podcast, of course you liked the podcast, please could we ask you to leave us a little review or a rating? You don't have to write lots of words, and like and subscribe. It helps It helps other people to find us, and you can support us for no pounds and no pence by doing that.
Yeah, and don't forget to come along on Tuesday where we have the little catch up and the follow-up episode, and we see how Emma's got on with her activity of the week as well. But for now, if you are wondering where your ex is and what they're up to, they are exactly where you left them, and they're doing exactly what they were doing. Big hug.